or if you're just impoverished and you need to claim a check, whatnot, that's SSI. SSDI is where you worked and then you had a permanent disability. So, which is my case. So anyway, 75 grand to 1200 a month. Talk about a shock. A shock. Now, I mean, everything. You have to cut expenses everywhere. I mean, you even get down to the point of flipping the breaker on the water heater. So that way your electric bill isn't nearly as much. And I got used to not even running the heater during the wintertime. I would just plug in a little space heater if it dropped down to... It only gets to... Here in New Orleans, it only drops to 28 degrees or 32 degrees maybe once or twice a year. And sometimes it doesn't even do that. So, I would just wear thermal underwear or, a little more clothing during the day, that kind of thing. Which I love cold weather. I loved it up in Colorado after Hurricane Katrina. Whole other issue. Anyway, so no, the blind dude, he did all right. Now, granted, I'm not like some of these other people who, I guess, had an insider buddy or whatnot that told them of particular coins who are now worth, 10, $15 million. That's not me. And I mean, that could have been me, but let's see, wait, 184. So yeah, this is how I do it with the insulin pen. I just listen. So that's 6 units. That's how I measure. Anyway. But no, I probably could have done really well. The problem for me was in 2016 and 2017, I got involved in so many ICOs. It was just crazy. And then a lot of them went to nothing. So it just, some of them did well, like Tezos. Tezos did real well. Pillar did well. That was another. Populous did well. I missed out on Veritasium because the Populous one was 25F. And, excuse me, the Populous was 25 Ethereum for that ICO. Then Pay did well, which was 10X, which, a lot of people will say, well, you live in the US, how'd you do that? Well, it was called a VPN. And then you just go in and change the country, change the IP address. So same thing with EOS. Now currently I don't own any EOS. I just it change your heart. So I'll say it that way. Look, if you own EOS, good for you. I hope you do really well. It's just, I don't know. A lot of different things there for me. Make up your own mind. Say it that way. Do your own research. But there's a lot more I could probably say in this aspect. Now, yeah. So basically, yeah, right now I am retired. Now I'm elevating the property, which, is taking up a lot of my time, but for the work that I'm doing in the elevation process, I'm saving 10 grand. So basically I'm earning 10,000, which is off the top of the cost of elevating the property. But anyway, then you factor in $1,200 a month on disability, then $1,500 a month on each rental. So that's $4,200 a month as an income. Now, granted, like I said, I don't claim that all myself. I put that off on into the trust. Now, those funds are mine to do with what I please. My trustee, I don't care if it hurts their feelings. I really don't give a damn. But they see what I've done, and they don't have any. It does not affect them. And if things were to go south with them, I would then choose a different trustee. But I don't see that happening. Both of my trustees, my primary and my backup trustee, have done really well. So it's not a money issue for them. So that's a big load off of my mind. Whereas the rest of my family, come to Christmas and Thanksgiving showing off $5,000 suit and a $10,000 watch, and oh, look at this, and check out my $75,000 truck, and all I'm seeing in the back of my mind is all y'all are doing is just blowing your damn money. You just wasted it. I mean, just stupid. I mean, really? Good luck taking them damn sunglasses into the pawn shop one day when you really freaking need it, to put food on the table. I mean, that's just stupid. Anyway, and they probably don't have the funds to take care of a major emergency if they had to. They live in paycheck to paycheck, and supposedly on paper they're earning, I don't know, 120, 130 a year, and they got nothing. If they miss a day of work, they lose the house, everything. And I don't know what has happened with them because of COVID and all this stuff. That's really none of my business. I just think that it's comical for many in the family to see me and think, oh, wow, look, there's poor Cousin Dave. Poor Cousin Dave. I laugh my ass off at that. I really do. I love it. At least I know they will never, ever knock at my door for a handout, And on top of that, they've never offered. Or, if I needed something, they were never there. So, you know what? Door swings both ways there. So anyway, that's a little extra tidbit. 184. I got to take a correction shot. But no, it is possible if you are alone, even if you already own your home, you're doing well. I still have roughly 5 years until my rental property is paid in full. Now, I could pay that off sooner. I just don't see the point. I would rather take some of those extra funds and move them into cryptocurrency now, because 5 years from now, what would the like let's say if I paid the property off today. Let's just say I owe 100,000. I'm just throwing a figure out there because I don't want to be too analytical on this for you. But let's just say I owe 100,000, but my income from the property is, just say, 30,000 after taxes and whatnot. So I'm only earning 30,000 a year, and I owe 100,000. Now it'll take me 3.5 years to pay that off. If I were to come out of pocket 100,000 worth, just say, of whatever cryptocurrency, say Bitcoin, whatever, say Digibyte, say I got 100 grand of Digibyte, $100,000 of Digibyte, and I then sold $100,000 of Digibyte to then pay the property off. Meanwhile, I'm only able to recap 30,000 a year. What do you think that the price of Digibyte's going to do over the next 3.5 years? Because that's how long it's going to take me to replenish $100,000 worth of Digibyte. But the issue is, at that point, what's the cost of Digibyte? Or pick your favorite coin. So for me, I don't see the benefit of doing that. I think that the cost of re-entry will far outweigh the benefit of paying it off. So Anyway, I got about 5 years till I'm free and in the clear. But, so for me, it doesn't really matter as far as earning an income. Look, if I'm able to do a little bit of YouTube and maybe some interviews or Zoom or Skype back and forth with other people that I've met and know in cryptocurrency to maybe stress different points and facts across to different. If this turns into something great, I hope it does for those who are disabled or visually impaired or blind, because that's kind of the direction I want to go in. But if this does go anywhere, then it's not like I'll be looking for an income. Like for me, with Digibyte, I'm a volunteer. Everyone in Digibyte is a volunteer. However, where I differ is that I can just jump in an airplane and go. Um, I don't have to ask and beg, for, well, if I come, who's going to pay for my flight? Who's going to pay for this or for that? Look, I'm willing to go and do all of this. And for other friends who run a booth and whatnot, look, I'm more than willing. I'll probably be there. So I'm more than willing to chip in and help out. Um, if nothing else, look, I'll go get burgers for the group. Whatever. Um, so for me, I'm coming at this a little different. I'm not looking at this as far as earning an income from. I'm just looking at this, I guess, how Bitcoin Ben says it. I'm not about the change. It's about the change. So this is digital is where all of this is going. It's just a vehicle. Um, but, like many have said, we are super early. And I believe that. But I think that all of a sudden it's just going to be, a ton of bricks hits this. Because not just that people are going to wake up, it's that things are going to have to go this route. So if you're in now, great. 5 years from now, I think that wall will have already hit. So the cost of re-entry will be so much more than what it would be to then just now hodl. Anyway, kind of getting into the weeds on this, but so yeah, probably a lot I've left out here. But yeah, the biggest things are to research if you are disabled or blind, how to invest out of the system, because that was the way. Now with crypto, it will be integrated into the system. So right now, for me, that's not an issue. I'm not selling or flipping and flopping back and forth into other coins. So as far as taxes or capital gains or all of this, I just own the asset and I donated all of that to the trust. Therefore, this is not a direct reflection on me or to my social security number and my benefits. In the future, there are other things I want to do, which I'll go ahead and say. Now, Mother Dearest, her house is worth, I don't know, just say $375,000-ish dollars. So let's just say at a quick sale, like if I wanted to sell it in a week, say 350,000. Now let's just say I keep 50,000 of that. Now this is without any other inheritance or anything else, because I don't know what she owns in annuities. That's none of my business. That's her own personal business. So anyway, that house at 375, let's just say 350 I sell it for. I keep 50,000, so then that's 300,000 I have not on consignment to go purchase another property, but that's after that property is sold. Now, I may decide to wait another year, another two. I'm not sure. But my goal is maybe after, say, a major hurricane or some sort of a deal, whereas, like with Puerto Rico or Puerto Rico, the Article 22 is for an individual where, under the U.S. tax code, where you pay zero in capital gains. If you own a business, which I do, then Article 20 would benefit you as far as lowering your tax rate as well. So what my goal there is I don't know, it is a fourplex there $600,000? I don't know. But I do know that I'll have an additional $300,000 to put towards it, and whatever rental income that I'm able to generate from it will then just pay it off. So a fourplex. So in one would be for myself and family, me, family, and friends, and then the other three, as a fourplex, I'm able to rent out year round. So let's say if one of them is just destroyed, all of a sudden I rent to Guns N' Roses and Axl Rose goes in and, goes nuts. So, or Motley Crue, whatever. They just go in there and go nuts. And I got to go in and fix up the place, whatnot. Okay, well, I can then live in one and then fix up that one that needs to be renovated. That's my thought. But more so that way then friends and family can also claim Article 20 and 22 and not have to pay, capital gains. Now, if you take a deep dive into rental property, as far as what the average revenue is for a vacation rental property to rent in Puerto Rico costs for a week. Let's say someone gets married and wants to go to Puerto Rico for a week. Now granted, it is seasonal, but, and which gives me time to go back and forth. And, a lot of people are complaining about Puerto Rico as far as becoming like a 51st state. Look, I do wish that it would happen. It is an American territory already. And furthermore, Puerto Rico has defaulted on their bonds, 8, 9 times? I mean, really, they already are a 51st state. Now, some people are saying other states as well. Like I said, y'all, I'm still not well. I have not been tested, in case you're wondering. And no, I have not been in contact with others. I've had others just drop things off at my front door. So yes, I'm taking precautions, and yes, I'm taking meds and whatnot. So, but in case you're wondering. But the thing for me is I stopped smoking like 5 days ago yet again. So I've noticed a big difference in that. It's just, when you wake yourself up coughing in the middle of the night, sleeping and whatnot, and look, I'd rather breathe, so that's where that got with me. And smoking cigarettes, I cannot smoke other things. I'm not sure what to say and not to here, so because my problem is I have low pressure from glaucoma, either 3 or not measurable. So what THC does to someone with glaucoma, which is usually defined as high pressure, is, say if you have a normal is about 15, 13, 15-ish. So let's say if you have glaucoma at like 30, and with THC, you're able to then lower it to 25. That puts a lot less pressure on your eyes. Problem with me is that at 3 you're not measurable, and I've got all kinds of different cross stitches that go over the valves and whatnot. So look, it ain't worth it to me. I just, if I want something to kick back with, look, give me a scotch and water or a bourbon and diet. And a lot of times I don't even drink. So every once in a while, the only time I like a beer is after I'm hot and sweaty and filthy and nasty, from doing yard work and stuff. But anyway, I know I have no idea how long this has gone on for, y'all. But I could probably talk for hours and days on all of this kind of stuff. If you are disabled, if you are blind, if you have questions, drop them down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. And if I don't know, I'll go in search of the answer. Because when this happened to me with going blind and investing and being disabled on benefits with the fear of losing them, that was the big thing for me. I couldn't find anything other than YouTube, which, to all the other YouTubers out there, as someone considering being on YouTube, look, your voice goes further than you think. I found Mike Maloney, Greg Marino, Menarino, all kinds of people in gold and silver, Eric Sprott, and all of these kind of people. Mike Maloney, Hidden Secrets of Money. It just, that was a great foundation for me to move forward in investing, being disabled. But the problem I ran into is that there is no one else out there discussing how to protect your benefits. And once you reach a certain point, how to protect your assets. So, and more than that, how to then get residual income. So that's where I would like this to focus, in cryptocurrency, gold, silver, and rental property, for the disabled, the blind. There are many things I want to do from my trust. So anyway, if you've gone this long, please hit the subscribe button. Seems that 90-something% of my views are not subscribed. So anyway, hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Look, help me get going. I'm big in Theta as well, so I would love to be able to, I guess, post on Theta TV. That is a thing. For me, I got into Theta for the virtual reality, the innovations from virtual reality do a lot. They're directly correlated to the advancements for the blind. So I would love to be able to post on Theta TV and with the interaction, which I will learn a little more on a little later. Right now, just getting my feet wet, practicing with a little this here and there. But anyway, y'all be cool. This is Blind Dave, Digibite Awareness Team. Later.